Davey, a hard-fought 1-1 draw against Motherwell here tonight. Can you just give us your thoughts?
Just ask me questions. First half, fairly passive, but you lose. You wouldn't believe we actually worked on that. You wouldn't believe that, but we worked on it. I don't think we can affect the cross because I think it's done very early for the wide area. We Steph can't get there. Nicky's locking off the pass, so Nicky's out of the equation. I think Partsy can have a wee bit more of a nibble on it, if I'm honest. I think it's a soft touch from Mandarin into Van Veen and Luigi loses him. We get spun. So really disappointing in the first goal. So early on in the game as well, because it's only 3 minutes in, but we created a couple of chances ourselves early on. They pick the ball up for a poor clearance from Luigi also. So the first half, then Shamal makes a bizarre decision. I don't know why. Don't know why he comes with his foot, if I'm honest. Bad decision. It's not a law I like in the game, if I'm honest, when someone's offside and you still get punished for the foul. Go back 6-7 months, the flag goes up, the ref blows, that foul doesn't take place. So I've been sceptical of it all year, and it's bit as in the bum today because I don't like it. You've got to still play on. I don't know, surely linesmen can still make decisions. Anyway, so we find ourselves down. I think we play for about maybe 5-10 minutes with 10 men in this first half. Get the lads in at half time. Changing room was quite vocal, so I let them go and do their bit most weeks anyway. And I'll go and try and sit in the office, get my thoughts, get coaching staff thoughts, look back in the goals. I went in and Big Partsy was up, which was extremely pleasing to see. It's why I brought him to the club. So we went in, had a wee chat with him and changed the shape. So we went to our back three, brought wee Holty on. I think Stephen Kelly and Jamie Brandon will be disappointed to come off the park. If they came off the park, it wasn't through performance, it was tactical. Jamie comes off for Jack Hamilton. And I needed a wee bit of energy in there, and I knew Holty would bring that to him, so we've played a 3-5-1. Big Joel sat on Gosh, at the top of that kind of diamond in the midfield triangle, in the midfield two, and wee Brucey played up top. Got to later on in the game, I've got one eye on also looking at I want to win the game on Sunday. But we also have to try and get something out of this game. And I said I'm going to throw Shins on up front because I was going to put Curtis on, but I thought the game would have came up really direct if we put Curtis on at that point. Shins can use his body, he's very clever, his game management's very good, and you see that with the goal he gets. Wee Steph picks the ball up, spins it in behind for Nicky Devlin, who what he had was fantastic tonight, and I think I should thank the fans because I thought the fans got behind him tonight. I made Nicky the captain for his last home league game, and I thought the fans were terrific with him tonight, so thank you very much. You've seen how much it means to Nicky Devlin. He worked it extremely hard, but he gets in behind, great place to play, just through sheer determination and physical strength and power. And he puts in a great ball, and Shinny gets the equaliser to make it one each. Switch it back, put Joel through the middle and drop Shinny back in. Joel was struggling a wee bit with his ankle, but we'd made all our substitutions, so instead of Joel dropping him in as a 10 and try to shift across both sides of the park, I thought try and leave him up top and just leave him on the mid centre back and limit the run he had to do to help him out in his ankle. So, but I thought I'd got to give huge credit to the players in the second half. I thought they were fantastic.
Yeah, I was going to say that myself. I thought going down to 10 men that second half, well, it can't have been an enjoyable watch as a manager from the sidelines. It was a really great performance.
No, I probably enjoyed the second half more than the first half. First half was too passive, but the second half I thought it was a real tempo to our game. There was a lot of aggression in there. And you know what, I get caught up in the game, so I'm not really thinking at that point we're 10 men, because I've gave the instructions and they carried it out to a T. I thought they were brilliant, especially Holty and wee Steph in there, who really shuffled across the park, slid across the park really well to get pressure on the ball, so I thought they'd done that really well. In the second half, I actually really enjoyed it, even before the goal. I was caught up in the game. It was a good game of football in the second half. You would struggle to see who had 10 men, who had 11 men, if I'm honest. I thought the second half, boys, have got to take huge credit. We'll take it last game of the season, but we're nailed on 8th at worst. We could potentially get 7th. And for me, it's important that I put the season into perspective. I'll probably speak a wee bit more about that after the game on Sunday. But it's important I put it into perspective. Yep, we all want to finish in the top 6. Yep, when you don't, you want to finish 7. But the main objective, the primary objective of this football club is to stay in the Premier League. And that group of lads and that staff that's in the changing rooms, and the staff have got to take huge credit, not me, the staff and the players, they've managed to secure first team football, Premier League football for Livingston Football Club for the first time in the club's history, 6 years running. I think that's huge testament to the players and the staff in that changing room.
It's one of those kind of coming into this post-split periods, like you say, when Livingston are in that position of 7th, 8th, kind of you don't have the jeopardy of going down. People from the outside could look at it and think you're maybe not got as much to play for. But what I'm saying is, I thought that second half, that second half tonight showed the fight and the battle that Livingston at their very best, I think.
That game there, they had the same tenacity and desire, especially the second half, as the first game here against Rangers. Do you know what I mean? So I think anybody that says that the towels are out and all this, and I actually do understand that analogy, I do get it, but I can rest assure you, like, not one member of staff allows that to happen. We went through a poor run of form, right, but what's the points we're sitting on? 46, is it?
I think so.
46,
right.
If we win on Sunday, we'd be on 49, and last year was an incredible season, or a very good season. So you've got to kind of put it into perspective. Nobody puts anything away. You can't win. We can't win every game of football that we play. And I was away in my pro licence this week, done a lot of one-to-ones and a lot of chats, psychology and stuff like that. And we win 33% of our football games. That's where we win. So the highs are never really that high. And the lows, you try to keep the lows as high as possible, if that makes sense, but the lows are always low. So it's, for us as a football club, it's how we deal with adversity. And we're always going to go through periods of the season. I'm not going to mention clubs and certain sports psychologists that were on the course, but you'd actually be amazed at the level of clubs in the English Premier League that go through similar runs of forms, spending hundreds of millions of pounds. It's football at our level. But I think you can see how much it meant to the players today. Like they gave it everything they had. They've gave it everything they've had all season. It's just you can't always come out in the right end of a result. Sometimes it's a poor performance, sometimes it's bad decision making, and sometimes, you know what, you need a wee bit of luck in football, because there's that many variables within a football match that can change the outcome of a game. And I think I spoke about it with the staff. Football, I think, is the only sport you can outperform your opponent and lose a game of football. And I'm not saying that happened tonight, but there's been games throughout the season, so that happens in football. I don't think there's many games where we've probably been outperformed and we've picked points up, but I can think of a few where we've probably been the better team, outperformed the opponent and not picked points up, and that's something I've probably got to do a wee bit better next year.
I just want to give a wee special shout out to Tom Parks as well. I thought he was absolutely fantastic in his first start since, I believe, December 2021. How big
that header in the first half?
Maybe bar that header in the first half. But aside from that, just looking at the rest of his performance, how big of an asset could he be to Livingston next season?
Got a huge problem in my hands in terms of I really don't want to play parts on Sunday. Do you know what? He came on, he got more minutes than I hoped he would get on Saturday there. He played 90 tonight and I thought I'll dip him in on Sunday, but I thought, do you know what, you wouldn't know parts he was out, been out for roughly 2 years there. You wouldn't know that watching his performance. And see, when I went in the change room and I seen him up there, I was absolutely over the moon. It's a part of the game, it's dying, and the big man, and it's why I brought him to the club. So I think he's a right to call him out. You're right for that, because it's his first 90. Is that maybe? Has he played 90 minutes before?
That's a good question. That's something I need to probably check up on.
I'm trying to think back, because I think there's maybe one or two in there, but I'm not so sure. Because he had a wee bit of his problems when he came in. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. To play at the level that he played tonight, you would never have known the lad's been out for 2 years. Absolutely over the moon for him. But he's gave me a wee bit of a headache for Saturday. because I really would have liked to probably rest him to make sure he was there for pre-season. Don't want to fatigue his body too much because he's played tonight probably around 60 minutes with 10 men. But nah, I thought he was the whole squad was brilliant. But I think you're correct to probably pick parts out there. Delighted for him.
And just finally, looking ahead to this weekend, the final game of the season, away up to McDermott Park. What's the thoughts heading into that one?
Just try and go there and, pardon me, and get 3 points. Probably need to shuffle it a little bit. Jack Hamilton's going to make his debut. Probably need to re-sign Big Stretch. So that's him making another comeback. No, I'm only kidding. So Jack will make his second start of the season. I thought Jack came on, done very well tonight as well, very assured in the goal. So Jack will start, we'll come up with a formation and a system with the players. I was always going to try and mix it up slightly, but we need to go up there, we need to try and pick 3 points up, we need to try and finish 7th in the league. We need to try and take a wee bit of momentum into the start of next season, to be honest. So we'll treat this as match day 38, it'll be getting treated like match day 1, as we always do. We take every game in isolation, and that's how we approach the game, so we'll go there and try and get 3 points.